What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, coming to you live with your Packers Daily Chat. We're devoted to you, Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. That's where we want to be, wherever you are. Hello, everybody, on a Wednesday afternoon. Hello to Aaron, Patrick, Jesse. Jesse Nagler? I never asked you? You never asked me what? Message redacted. You better redact that nonsense. I have no idea what you're talking about. Man, I'm all fired up, man. I just listened to Mike Smith, outside linebackers coach, defending the Rashawn Gary pick, and I am here for it. That's a guy I'm gonna run through a wall for. I am all in. Is Dak Prescott worth $30 million? Who cares? I mean, truly, honestly, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, who cares? David, what's up in Mississippi? How you doing? Is there too much invested in Savage as a rookie? Do you mean, are they counting on him too much? I mean, he was drafted. They traded up for him, so they clearly like the kid. And their safety position has been less than inspiring for many years. So I don't think there's too much. If anything, man, get him on the field. Let him play, man. Let him ball out. Extra smelly cheese today. Very well played, Dan. Dan's my old college buddy. He's been on here before. He's my Chewbacca. Love you, Dan. Hope you're well, buddy. 106 days, yeah, 106 days, and we're still here talking Packers, people. I don't care. I don't care if there's 4,000 days to go. Always something to talk about when it comes to the green and gold. I love Jesus of the Apes has always got to get in here with the negativeness. Does Cole Madison look like his arms have shrunk to anyone else? What a wasted pick. Have you been to practice? Have you seen the man? Remember when Eddie Lacy was fat? Stop judging things by pictures on the internet, people. Good Lord. I know it's only OTAs, but a lot of good news about our defense being a top 5. Okay, whoa. Slow down. Slow down. You move too fast. Gotta make that offseason last. I mean, could they be top 5? Sure. But a whole lot of ball game left there. Could I see... sorry, they're going really fast. A lot of people saying stuff. Could I see Kiki taking over for Lowry? I don't know about taking over for him straight up, but I definitely think he'll be in the mix sooner rather than later. You look at the number of bodies they have to throw out there and the different kinds of fronts that Mike Pettin traditionally likes to use. Man, I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for all those guys. But could Kiki overtake Lowry playtime-wise, play percentage-wise? Yeah, I could see it happening. That's a big man who can move. Big athlete. And I'm excited to see what he can do once the pads go on. Your boy, my boy, Vic Ketchman would always sarcastically pick a underwear MVP. Yeah, I'll bet he did. Way too early. Way too early. Let's let a week or so go by and have some play. We get some beat writer play-by-play on the old Twitter, then we'll really start cooking with gas as far as overreactions to OTA practices. We're all just excited today. Lots of great content coming from the players and coaches. I agree, Nick. Absolutely. It's so great when OTAs start because then you got stuff to talk about and no one's lost a yard and no one's given up any points on defense. We're all undefeated. It's the best time of year. Nothing but hope, baby. Nothing but hope. I'm going for it. I'm going to say it. Gary is going to be a beast. I love the enthusiasm of his coach. Mike Smith, man. I'm in. I am in. If you're joining us and you don't know what we're talking about, Mike Smith, the outside linebackers coach for the Packers, just met with the media, and he went on a bit of a mini rant about the negative stigma around the Gary pick, and really stuck up for the kid, and it was great. I put it up on my Twitter account, so check it out after we're done here. Have all the draft picks signed yet? No, not yet. Jay Sternberger, the tight end, third-round pick, he has yet to sign, but I wouldn't worry about it. He is still practicing, and I would suspect that gets done before training camp. Do you think Jamon has a better chance in LaFleur's system than McCarthy's system? That's a good question, Christian. I don't think it's so much the system that will help him. I think a reset was definitely needed, but the things that were holding him back were, pretty self-contained. drops and laps as far as details go. Something he discussed pretty openly, actually, recently. He's got to be where he's supposed to be, make the adjustments he's supposed to make off the line. Now, he'll be doing a little less when it comes to straight up ISO routes and having to beat defenders across from him, although that is always the job in the NFL. So he'll be definitely given a little bit more help from the scheme, but essentially he's got to make it work. He's the one who's got to do the work. GP Salt Life. I like it. Was Kaiser a McCarthy crush or a Gutekunst? Oh, that was Gutekunst. Way back. If Pete Carroll is a player's coach and Bill Belichick is a coach's coach, where does LaFleur fall? I think we're still figuring that out. It's so funny because it's hard to get a read on LaFleur until we get into the depths of the season because of the fact that he hasn't stayed in one place for very long on his trajectory to this spot. You look at the guys who have come before him, whether it was Mike McCarthy or Mike Sherman or Mike Holmgren, those guys had pretty extensive resumes that you could draw from and you could look at and say, this is the kind of coach he's going to be, this kind of leader he's going to be. But with Matt, he's had a year here, a year there, a couple years here, a couple years there. He's obviously worked with the same core of guys, so you can kind of draw from that. But I'm really interested to see what kind of program he puts together and what kind of coach he becomes. Because, look, that's the other thing. Well, whoever he is right now and whatever kind of coach he is or isn't or is going to be, I can guarantee you he'll be very different, by the end of this season, let alone by the end of his career in Green Bay, which hopefully that's a very long time. Thanks for answering my question. No problem, Robert. What do you think is the most improved group on the team right now? Oh, if it's not outside linebacker, so somebody's done something very, very wrong. I think safety is getting there. I still wonder about the depth, but outside linebacker has taken a monster jump, at least on paper, from last season. Let's check out the old tweet machine, shall we? See what's going on Twitter. With Matthew starting us off with, will we see any wide receiver running plays, end around sweeps, etc., in LaFleur's offense? Feel like in the last decade, Green Bay has underutilized this facet of the game. Yes and no in that regard. I think a lot of that is down to personnel. We've seen Randall Cobb run it. We've seen Donald Driver run it. We've seen Trevor Davis run it. And we've seen Jeff Janis run it. I don't think it's ever going to be a focal point or a major call that they use a lot. But I do think they'll continue to use it as a change of pace, so to speak. I just don't, obviously I think MVS has got the speed to get around the corner and make something happen. Trevor Davis himself, if he is back on the squad. But I don't think it's ever going to be a staple call. Let's put it that way. You are the editor of a sport magazine like ESPN or Sports Illustrated. You are putting Rodgers and LaFleur on the cover. You can go as weird as you want to, like Ditka and Ricky. How do you put them on the cover? I don't, because I quit that job and got another one because magazines are dead. Come at me. I know he hasn't played it down yet, but I'm already referring to the new safety as Macho Man Darnell Savage. I'm down with it. I am down with it, brother. Let's head back over to the chat. You guys are crazy. Janis did indeed, Matub, have a rushing touchdown against the Seahawks. That was a play that also featured one Devontae Adams shoving Richard Sherman into the ground. The turf of Lambeau Field. It was a glorious day. Eddie Lacy possibly come back to the pack? No. Should have done that there. Sorry, Gaff. I love it. Yeah, I love it too. Oh, sorry, I don't know why that's, So clearly Google thinks Kyler Fackrell is a bad word because it just hid that question. Do I predict Kyler Fackrell will get significant snaps this season? No, I don't. I think he'll be a depth / rotational guy. There's nothing wrong with that. But if he is playing like significantly more snaps than Preston and Zadarius Smith and Rashad Gary, then things are not going well. Something's broke on the spaceship. Who wins week 1? The Packers, of course. No, I don't know. Ask me again closer, like the week of. Will we really want Lacey? I couldn't tell if that was a joke question or not. No, they would not want Lacey. But then again, you never know. You know, I mean, Jason Witten can unretire and come back onto the playing field for the Cowboys. Anything's possible. Savage getting some high praise from Williams, huh? Sounds like Savage is quite the smart player. Yes, that was a very interesting quote from Tramon Williams about the rookie. If you haven't read it yet, make sure you go to cheeseheadtv.com. I believe Zach posted about it yesterday. High praise indeed. Nickler, if you could pick any player from Packers history to add to the current team, who would it be? Travis Jerving. What's your prediction for our record, Aaron? Too early, Daniel. Way too early. Why isn't Rodgers wearing his new helmet? His shut is getting outlawed this year. Because he's going to wear it as long as he can. And I think those rules only apply to games. So I think he will wear his old stuff, the stuff he likes. You know Aaron. He's stubborn that way. That was a joke question about Lacey. I love him, but no way should he be back. All right, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Why do you think Eric Berry is still unsigned? Have to think it's medical, right? He had major issues with the ankle at the end of his KC tenure. I would think most folks are probably shying away for that reason. Maybe, and combine that with, I'm sure he wants to get paid. Any chance non-Packers players or personnel do a podcast with you? Non-Packers players or personnel? Why would we want to hear from non-Packers players or personnel? Maybe. We'll see. Would you say 11-5 is too far of a stretch? Nope. It's kind of the first time in a long time that I have no real feeling for what their records could possibly be. I mean, for years and years and years, you knew if you predicted 10-6 or 11-5, you had a good shot at being right, or at least in the neighborhood. And now I could see them going. Hell, I could see them going, winning 6-7 games. I could see them winning 12 or 11. So we'll see. There's a long kind of way to go before we have any kind of feel. Any reports on what the coaches think of the punter and his future in Green Bay? They were asked about him, some of the coaches today, actually. The new special teams coordinator said, and I quote, "I'm not a kicking guru. I only note that because Ron Zook said the exact same thing." Inauspicious debut. Victor, no problem, man. Thanks for hanging out. How do you see Kadar Holman in Pettin's scheme? It's interesting you ask about him because I kind of took my first kind of peek at his game last week. And, man, you really like the tools there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how much of a real shot he gets as far as, his first year in the system. He's working with a bunch of guys who were drafted very high. I think it might be tough for him to get on the field at first, but man, I'm excited about the potential there. And you just love his story. The fact that he, really, you talk about a guy, stick-to-itiveness. This is a guy who would not take no for an answer in regards to playing, the game of football. J.K. Scott for MVP. Well, not if you talk to Banky. My next jersey is Billy Turner. He's a cool dude, and I think he's really good. Katie, I really, really can't wait to watch him up front at guard. He's been inserted as the number one, right guard, and Aaron Rodgers, pretty much, I'm trying to recall right now, but I think it was unsolicited, shot him some praise yesterday at his locker, talking about what a big dude he is and what a commanding presence he is in the huddle. I think there's a good chance that he steps right in and solidifies a spot that's been an issue since, or not an issue, but it's been a problem since T.J. Lang left those parts. Favorite part of your workday is listening to Aaron Negler talk Packer football. Aaron Harper, I'm honored, sir. Anything I can do to slow down or grind to a halt the productivity of workplaces everywhere, I'm proud to do it. Matub. If Billy ever gets busted for being drunk in public, we could call him Turner and Hooch. I should ban you from the chat just for that. That's terrible. I can say I'm a fan of Bootstrap Billy Turner. Excited to see him play. I tell you what's so exciting about him is he's played a significant number of games at guard. So it's not going to be too big for him. He's going to step right in. But inevitably, something injury-wise will happen at tackle, and I think he can slide right over to the right tackle and play there and be okay. At least play at a higher level than Jason Spriggs. Which I know on third down, that's a bit of a low ceiling, but a low floor, but we'll see. I like his, what do you call that? Versatility. Oh. Defensive coordinator Don Brown said yesterday in an interview that there were 15 to 25 plays where Gary got to the quarterback as the ball was being released. Does that hold any water? It absolutely does. I thought Mike Smith put it perfectly. You watch his tape and you see somebody affecting the quarterback. And the talk about sacks and production, etc., can be tempered a bit when you look at that. Now, yes, were there times that he lined up outside and got blocked? Absolutely. That happens to every single football player. And I thought Mike put it perfectly when he was talking about how things really snowball, especially in the media. When one person looks at something on tape and says, oh, well, I don't think he does this very well. And then all of a sudden that catches fire and it becomes a game of telephone. And then it's, oh, gosh, this kid is terrible, or this kid can't do this or can't do that. Rather than, as most good evaluators will do, blocking all of that out and just watching what you have in front of you and forming your own opinion about the kid. I'm excited. I think he's got all the upside in the world. And watching Mike Smith today, I'm really excited that is his coach. The book on this kid is, he was a phenom out of high school, a huge recruit going into college, Michigan. I think Bob McGinn and Ryan Wood both wrote big pieces about untapped potential and unreached potential. And if there's one human being on this earth who I think is going to get that potential out of him, it's going to be Mike Smith. Is Kevin King this year's Devon House? No. Tell me what he can do, not what he can't do. That's right, Lupo. You talk about it. Preaching truth in the comments, in the chat. I like it. Will the NFL know what a legal hit is this year? Why you gotta bring me down, man? It's May. I'm trying to live my life and enjoy things, and you're talking about the NFL destroying things. Give us a hot take. I don't do hot takes, Patrick. It's not why I'm here. If I think of one, I'll let you know. I'd like to see some Mike Daniels lead blocking reps on the goal line this year, if it could be his last one. Just me, I'm down with that. I think he's done it once or twice, hasn't he? I seem to recall them doing that. Jason Springs equals Don Barclay. Ooh, that's tough. Have you and McGinn kissed and made up? Look, Bob and I are never going to be pen pals. We're never going to be friends. I respect some of his work. I think he, obviously kicks ass on the draft. And as a columnist, I don't think he has a peer. But doesn't mean we have to be friends. It's good. I said what I said on transplants. He's clearly heard it. I'm fine after that. Kevin King plays 4 games. Over or under? Ha, ha, ha. Over, fool. Over. Way over. Hell, it's May. I gotta be, happy and ecstatic and loving life and shooting the moon here. Oh, that's an interesting comparison. The times Kevin King has been on the field, he reminds me of Sean Smith. I hadn't thought of that as a comp, but that kind of works. I like it. I think he's a little more lankier, more like a gazelle when he runs, but I feel that. There we go, Jesse. Don Barclay was in Pitch Perfect too. Jason Spriggs was not. There you go. That's the comparison. Vital taking reps with the first team. Hello from Argentina. What's up, Walt? Thanks for joining us from Argentina. Hello from New York City. I saw Vital is your leader in the clubhouse at the fullback spot. We'll see if it remains so. None of that really means anything now when they're in shorts. Let's see what happens when the pads come on and things start heating up a little bit. When did this become a roast fest on Jason Spriggs? Let the guy be. Let him live. Although that is funny. Jason Spriggs can't even block me on Twitter. Aaron Jones has been working this offseason like a guy who's expecting a large workload. Can't wait to see him on the field this year. Patrick, I agree. But I do think, we all know what Jamal is. He's a very solid player. But yeah, I'm interested to see the rookie, Notre Dame. Let's give him a shot. I'm not saying that Aaron Jones won't be the man, because I think he will be, but I think they got something in Williams, but we'll see. At least Spriggs can stay healthier than Bulaga. Barely. He's been hurt a lot too. So with all the maulers, is Sackrell our only speed rush option? I mean, Gary's pretty damn fast. And I think Preston Smith can get around the edge, but, you know, if you want to categorize it like that, you're more than welcome to do so. I love our running backs. I love our running backs too, David. People keep texting me. Hey, thanks for sticking with us during these lulls during the offseason. Love everything. GPG Salt Life, you're welcome. Cheesehead TV, it's what we do, man. Who's your guy? Rookie year Sam Shields or rookie year Jair Alexander? I ain't saying nothing, Benny, because every time I give a shout out to an unknown or a guy who's undrafted, whatever, they get cut the next day. So I'm done. I'm done. Now, just let me get to town and see these guys in person first before I start giving any of those kind of takes. Williams needs to work on breaking through the first contact better. It's a glaring weakness in his film. I agree up to a point. Are the corners really that talented if 50-year-old Tramon Williams has been the number one corner in OTAs? Well, come on. They're just running him because that's like deferential to seniority there. They're not going to bench Tramon Williams just because they, want to get the young guys on the field. He's there for a reason because he's a really good player. And look, he's the most consistent guy in coverage that they have. Is he going to get beat sometimes? Yeah, of course. Everybody gets beat at the corner position. Everybody. So, this idea that because, Tramon Williams is running with the ones, well, these other guys can't beat him out. Well, they're still developing. They're still working on stuff. And Tramon Williams is a really good football player. And no one is more frustrated with the fact that he didn't get an interception last year than Tramon. So let's let the man do his thing. Now, Tramon as a 115-year-old return man, I hope those days are done. Although I do know they're running him back there so far in practice, but they're running like 100 people back there. So we'll see how that shakes out. I like Ty Summers' chances to become our nickel inside linebacker. Yeah, he's got a shot. I'm anxious to see all those guys with the pads on. I did find it interesting. The inside linebackers coach, whose name is escaping me at the moment, did have a really interesting thing to say about Oren Burks and about how they are working on eye discipline and angles. Something that, should be able to help the young man. And you have to think they're obviously working with all of them. But that's something that I hadn't really thought about in Oren's game. Obviously, a lot has been made about his inability to get off blocks, etc. Well, one really easy way to get off a block is to never be blocked. And if he can improve his angles to the ball carrier, so be it. So much the better. Can we talk about Aaron's progression reads? It was so bad last year. Brian, I don't know if I agree with your police work there. All I want him to do is hit the check down if the deep stuff's taken away. And we all know he got outside the pocket a lot and threw a ton of throwaways. We all know that. But what we don't know is, what you just mentioned, progressions. We don't know the progressions. We don't know who's one, who's three, who's, the check down, etc. Now, the check down becomes apparent usually by the end of the play. But, this idea that he's not going through his reads. Well, we don't know what the reads are. So I would only caution about maybe a blanket statement like that. Now, were there obvious instances where there's somebody open underneath and he doesn't take it looking for a bigger play? Yes, of course. But those are individual plays that you can talk about. But as a whole, criticism of his game being he didn't go through his reads or he's bad at his progressions, etc. I'm a little weary of that. Wary of it. Do we get credentials for the Packers? No. I don't think that's ever going to happen. If you were McCarthy, would you still go to home games? No. Are you crazy? God, how much would... I mean, it's just crazy that he lives in Green Bay as it is. After getting fired, he's still there with his family, blowing up at basketball games. But man, could you imagine him walking into Lambeau as a fan? Holy cow, that would be bizarre. That'd be like crazy. I need to write a short play about that. That's amazing. What Packer player do you feel worst about never getting a Super Bowl ring? Travis Jervey, no doubt. No, I don't know. Probably Sterling Sharp, because he's one of the greatest football players I ever saw play the game. And if there was a guy who deserved a championship, it's Sterling. I don't know what TW and JJ is. You really think TW is better than JJ? Oh, the running backs. I don't know if he's better. I just think he's got untapped potential. I think Jamal is a really good player, but his ceiling is capped a little bit in my eyes. Would you say this year Green Bay's defense is pass rush greater than coverage, or the other way around? Martin, it's really early. Ask me that again when we get to training camp. But right now, everything's on paper and it all looks good. There's still a lot of question marks as far as what we were talking about earlier in the secondary to make anything close to a determination. Lynn Dickey deserved a Super Bowl ring. You damn right he did. Oh, did Jervey get a ring? No. Was he on the Super Bowl team? Now I'm like going crazy. Oh, I think you're right, yeah. Can't wait for J.J. Watt this summer. Get a fight with the O-lineman. I mean, we're all just living for J.J. Watt versus David Bakhtiari. Essentially, that's it. That's all we need. Then we can all go home. Tremont and Josh. There we go. Thanks, Patrick. Tremont Williams. Do I think Tremont Williams is better than Josh Jones? Well, they're different positions. Tremont is back at cornerback full time, and Josh Jones is a safety who can't cover. So, do I think Tremont is better in coverage? Hell yes. Do I think Tremont is as good as Josh when it comes to maybe setting the edge or blitzing the quarterback? Maybe not. But as an overall player, yeah, Tremont's better. Like, no question. Who's the bitch kitty this year for Pettin's pass rush? Matub has read the book Collision Low Crossers. I don't know. We'll find out, right? I think it might be Za'Darius, but I think Rashawn's got an outside chance at it. Cheeseheads are great fans. You got that right. Tremont Williams qualified for his AARP card before he retires from the game. Matub throwing it down. Too bad Randy Wright never got a ring. Randy Wright ruined my childhood. You don't deserve nothing. Is Cole Madison the next David Bakhtiari? Whoa, slow down. How funny would it be to see McCarthy scalping tickets at games? All right, now it's time for me to go. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to your questions. It's amazing that you're all here chatting it up. Thank you so much. If you are so inclined, please visit our Patreon, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. A meager $5 a month helps support not only these chats, but everything we do, and it gives you exclusive access to my podcast, Naglers Never Write, which who knows if I'm going to do one this week. I'm working on a guest. But you get exclusive access to that. You support everything we do, all the chats, everything on the site. And the support is crazy. It's gone kind of through the roof the last 2 weeks or so. I can't thank you guys enough for that. If you're here on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. Make your children subscribe to the channel. We need subs, man. Help us out. If you're on Facebook, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, share it with your parents. Parents love Facebook. Yeah, spread the word. Cheesehead TV. We're here, devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide, for you. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.